I'm Chris McDonough, a retired homicide detective. I've interviewed thousands of people, from serial killers to ministers.
Big deal.
I do not do that on purpose. Okay. So that said, let's talk about overview, right? I have purposely laid back on this because I wanted to watch some of the dynamics unfold, such as these interviews and other things. I've had some phone calls, and I'll just say,
A few moments later.
And I got some opinions about, first of all, understanding some of the dynamics taking place within that county. Now, where Summer lives, that particular county has a significant amount
1 hour later.
obviously of poverty, and then simultaneously with that poverty, unfortunately, becomes somewhat problematic for drug addiction.
2 hours later.
So in this area, the intel that I have, there's a high methamphetamine use. There is a high opioid use. Drugs. There's been a paradigm shift, believe it or not, in these communities where the DEA really clamped down on narcotic use, i.e., pills like oxycodone and those types of things.
One eternity later.
However, fentanyl and heroin in pill forms has been making obviously a crazy comeback. And as a result of that, we're starting to see, and obviously everybody in this chat knows, that the drugs then in of themselves are really taking people and holding them and grasping them. Have shown up pretty quickly. Okay? Resulted in what they call a solid lead. Okay? What that is code for is we need more information. Okay? Summer is reported missing on the 15th. Okay? Just in case. Okay? Is going right there at the bottom of the screen. Okay? That said, so let's get into, first of all, some of the numbers. Okay? And the reason I want to show you this is because I want everybody to understand statistically what takes place or what could take place in one of these type of problems. Okay?
My reaction was that they ripped out Michael Crowe's heart on camera. It was the most horrible interrogation I've ever watched because of what they did to that child.
And the reason you have not heard directly from the police or district attorney in this story is because they have refused to comment on this case since the families of the teenage defendants filed a federal lawsuit against them. The suit seeks compensation for the harm done to their sons by illegal interrogations and the resulting false confessions. On the same day the case is dismissed, Detective Chris McDonough calls into this radio show to defend his role in the interrogation process.
I did not wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and sit down and say, you know what, today's the day I'm going to plant and frame Joshua Treadway for murder.
Well, I don't think that
ridiculous.
anybody... Detective McDonough, I don't think anybody is saying that this is born of hostility rather than stupidity.
A year earlier, on the same night Stephanie was murdered, neighbors of the Crowe family had complained to police about the intrusive behavior of a transient. Richard Raymond Tuitt, 28, was knocking on neighbors' doors looking for an old girlfriend.
This was such a strong DNA result that you could rule out anybody who ever walked on the planet Earth as a donor of this blood, except Stephanie Crowe.
And Stephanie's blood on Tuitt's shirt seems set in a splatter pattern, one consistent with a violent stabbing.
You know, and I just want to also point out one other thing. You know, people are here, you know, dragging on this officer and the PD saying, had they done everything, the children would be alive. Okay. Well, let me point out something clearly. Okay. Tylee standing with her mother. And we're going to see that here in a couple of minutes. Okay. No matter what, if Alex is in custody, you think Lori's not going to kill her daughter? Let's take Alex in custody. Let's hypothesize and put him in custody. Alex is in custody. He's sitting in jail. Okay, JJ's still with her mother or her stepmother, and so is Tylee. Okay, the cop didn't kill those children.
That's right.
The mother killed her children.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're just coming into my chat to troll me, okay, I'm going to call you out. I always do this. I love it. You're more than welcome to come in, but you're not thinking through the problem. That's why it says homicide detective on my shirt.
Sounds like a lot of...
Hey, so if you're here to troll me, feel free. Hey, but just remember, I'm the kind of guy that will call you out. And if you do it again, I'm going to put your name up, and I'll bang on you for 15 minutes with eye roll. Okay, that's loony thinking. I mean, you should have a dark score if you're thinking like that.
Yeah.
In fact, the next troll I see put something up, I'm going to call you out and I'm going to give you a score because you are doing exactly what Lori does to other people. Okay. So if you're welcome to troll my channel, but you're not prepared for the consequences. Trust me. Okay. Because I'm worried about, you know, getting a fair trial now for Lori in terms of getting her convicted and thrown in prison.
Is there any insanity in your family?
Police are watching how you answer those questions, and they're making judgments based on the way in which you answer those questions. Because police are actually trained that deception can be detected by the way in which you answer questions, and that all it takes is proper training for a police officer to turn into a human lie detector. So let's take a look at some of these training materials that teach this behavioral analysis. This is a handout that is used by a company called John E. Reid and Associates. They're based here out of Chicago, and about 50 or 60 years ago, they developed a psychological interrogation technique that has since become the most widely used interrogation technique in the country. About 2/3 of all officers around the country are trained how to interrogate in the Reid technique. So let's take a look at this handout, because this is a handout that Reid uses to train officers about behavioral analysis. You can see here on the left-hand side, we have deceptive denials. These are phrases that people who are supposed to be lying use. Then here on the right-hand side, truthful denials. These are supposed to be indicators of innocence, of telling the truth. So let's take a look. I didn't take that money. That means you're lying. I didn't do that to her. That means you're lying. Look on the other side. I did not rob anyone. Well, that means you're telling the truth. I did not rape her. That means you're telling the truth. All right, let's keep going. These are some slides used by the president of John E. Reid and Associates during a presentation that he gave at the University of Arkansas about his interrogation techniques. And again, on the left hand, we have body language cues that are supposed to be used by somebody telling the truth. Right-hand side is cues that are supposed to be indicators of lying. So let's take a look. Truthful individuals: composed, concerned, cooperative, direct, sincere, and open. Kind of sounds like a Boy Scout. A truthful individual has open palms, maintains frontal alignment, don't turn that body, frontal alignment, and a truthful person makes smooth posture changes. Let's look over here, though, for lying. What means you're lying? Slouching means you're lying. Lacking frontal alignment means you're lying. Hand over mouth or eyes means you're lying. How about this? Can you read that? I don't know means you're lying. I can't recall means you're lying. Referring to God or religion, my God, I would have never committed this crime. That means you're lying. Now, if this sounds crazy to you, I think you're right.